Retirement Visa and Real Estate Services.
All right, welcome to the Philippines.
Yeah.
Welcome back to JRC Visa Consultancy and Immigration Services, and also JRC Real Estate Services. He wears several different hats here, and we're going to touch base a little bit on some changes to the SRRV,
Correct, yes.
the retirement visa here in the Philippines. They've lowered the age. And before we go any further, he has offices, his main office here in Cebu City, across from Ayala Mall, Dumaguete, right across from the immigration office, and in Manila.
Before the immigration office.
Before the immigration office in Dumaguete.
Yeah.
And then you've got an office in Manila, and some things have to go through Manila.
Yes.
So you can expedite those types of things. So that's good.
We can make it more efficient.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to talk about the SRV, the retirement visa changes, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about his real estate services. He's been a real estate broker for over 10 years, and we're getting more and more. He can act as properties, and he can act as a buyer's agent and look at your big problem here is titles and documentation, that type of thing. He specializes in that. So anyway, I'll hand it over to JR and let's go.
Yeah. Hi, Rod. How are you? That's new in terms of your introductory. Like, it's welcome to the Philippines. That's good. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me in your channel again. I could really appreciate that. So we would like to inform your viewers and subscribers that there will be changes right now in the Philippine Retirement Authority, which is actually the office overseeing the SRRV, or the Special Resident Retirees Visa. So take note that it will be effective September 1st. There are changes that you need to know. So you might be hearing already with other bloggers, or you might be hearing some information already from your colleague, from a friend, like, hey, there are changes. Yes, that it's indeed true. And it was already cascaded by the retirement office to all of their accredited marketers. So number one, I just wanted you to have a brief context. So the retirement program comes with two visa options right now. So the classic and the courtesy. So before, you will actually hear expanded courtesy, smile, classic with pension, so on and so forth. They are actually simplifying it. So number one, let's talk about the option of the SRRV Classic. So as what they have mentioned, they have streamlined, make it simple, and they have expanded the program. Now, what does it mean to have it expanded the program? They have expanded for a lower minimum age requirement. So the current one, let's talk about the first visa option, which is Classic. The Classic is still comes with the 50 years old and above, and the expanded will be the 40 years old to 49. So what's the difference? So the difference right now comes basically with the age, and also effective September 1st, the current visa deposit for the 50 years old and above will be increasing. So the current SRRB visa deposit for the classic category 50 years old and above, from $20,000 US, it will be increasing to $30,000 US effective 1st of September this year. Now, for those classic with pension, so when they apply for and they presented to the retirement office that, hey, I'm already receiving at least $800 US lifetime pension, then their visa deposit, if effective 1st of September, will be increased from $10,000 US to $15,000 US. So it can be a double-edged sword in terms of the expanded program, but if you can still make it, then do it. And the increase might be the not so good news, but in terms for those younger people who wanted to take a look at the Philippines as their second base, aside from the US or other countries, whichever countries you're from, so this is also now the good news for you. As early as 40 years old, you can now apply. So the context is, the visa deposit requirement for this category for classic without pension is $50,000 US. So if you're 40 years old and above, between 40 to 49, and you can present a pension of $800 per month. Of course, there will be a set of people that are receiving pension already with the specific situations. Why are they receiving pensions already? So the visa deposit requirement will be $25,000. Both of these visa deposits are convertible into active investments, meaning later on, once they actually like come here and buy real estate, especially purchase of a condominium at least $50,000, they can actually then withdraw their visa deposit, provided that they will be adhering the requirements or complying with the requirements for the visa deposit withdrawal process. So that's one. Now, the second option for the expanded program of the retirement visa will be the courtesy program. The courtesy program is broken down into two segments. One is for foreigners, and second is for Filipinos. So for foreigners, this covers those foreigners that have served the U.S. military and also other countries that can qualify if they have a good diplomatic relationship with the Philippines. Also with the retired diplomats are also welcome and also forming part of this category. And also for those retired foreigners who have served or who have been connected with international organizations such as World Bank, WHO, and that has been listed in our Department of Foreign Affairs. So those are things that can be done with pre-approval. So don't assume that you will be qualifying for it. So it's always good to make sure that you are qualified then before you apply. So of course, we will be here for you to answer your questions later on. Just in case you have one, we will just be a call or email away. For this visa option, it's also categorized into two: 50 years old and above, and then 40 to 49. So the 50 years old and above will be for the 50 years old and above, the current visa deposit is $1,500. Now it does not change, which is good news. And if effective 1st of September, that will not be affected for the 50 years old and above. Now, if you will be 40 years old to 49 years old, then there would be a visa deposit requirement. If you don't have a pension, your visa deposit will be $6,000. If you can actually present proof of pension that you're receiving, it will be $3,000. So it will go down from $6,000 to $3,000. So is there instances that these people have pension? Yes, there are. Like I've seen military veterans that have been have on their disability pension and they're still below 50, and these are actually the options that they can actually take. Come on, $6,000 or $3,000 is not that much. So those are the very important things that your subscribers right now, Rod, that can take a look at. Like, hey, SRRV is one of the better options, visa options here in the Philippines. Of course, you may think about investor's visa, which is requiring you $75,000 investment or even more. And here comes 25, 50, 3, or 6. And then speaking of the expanded program itself, like if you will be at my age, 40, I'm divulging my age right now, but if you will be in that age and you're taking a look at really finding a second home or second base that you can actually explore aside from your home country, that could be an opportunity for you. Well, you can actually set a business here. That's one. Now, there are also other visa options like the spousal visa. Of course, the spousal visa is another story because your petitioner is your spouse. So whatever that particular visa is dependent on your marriage with a Filipino citizen. That's one thing that you need to know specifically for the spousal visa. Of course, there's still the tourist visa option. You can still actually have that when you wanted to test the waters here in the Philippines. You can have a touch base here in Cebu, Manila, or Davao, then roam around. So that is still their option. So one of the things also of the changes of the retirement visa is the one-time visa application fee will be increased from 1,400 to 1,500. So the reconciliation date is actually September 1st. So anything that has been submitted September 1st will follow there's new set of requirements. Now, one question that I bumped into, hey JR, I have been issued already with a retirement visa 5 years ago. Will I be affected with the new changes? The answer is no. So if you are already approved with a visa, you will be following right now, or you will be complying with the visa deposit requirement, whatever is that amount, it will not be changed. As long as you have that one approved before September 1st. So that is something that you need to be, that is something that you need to know on that aspect. Because if it's a basic question that most of us be worried. Like, it's a clarificatory question that it's valid, but it is prospective. It is not retrospective, according to the person that I asked in the retirement office. So I hope that actually made some point. And also for the fees, especially for the U.S. military personnel, from $10, it will now be $100 a year. So it's still not that much.
Yeah, each year after you have it, each year after that.
Yes,
Yeah.
after 1st of September. So if you have been granted before with expanded courtesy, so you continue the $10 a year. But if you file your visa application after September 1st, you will be required to have a bigger visa deposit if you're 40 years old and above, and then your yearly ID renewal will be $100. It will not be $10 anymore.
Still very little.
Yeah. So you're applying now?
One other question I get is that people have they've got a retirement account.
Mhm.
It's not a pension
Okay.
per se, so but they've made investments. They're called different things in the USA, different countries.
401k, I think.
Yeah, 401k or different things. So they have, it might be a company pension, but it might just be their own retirement account, and it is more than the $800 a month. Does that qualify?
Okay, that is still a gray area, to be honest, but it will not hurt us if we will actually try. Let's do a pre-approval, let's talk about it, and we'll be asking the retirement office, hey, this is the private pension, where in fact we have encountered, I cannot just recall what type of pension is that, but common in the US is Social Security, VA pension, military pension, that's what common. But there are few that are actually private pension, in which they're already granted with a retirement visa. So let's give it a try. It will not hurt us. Anyway.
Right, okay. Very good.
Yeah, so that is one of the highlights right now. And if you have more questions, of course, verification, feel free to reach out, and our team will be happy to help you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be for the visa side. So I'm gonna change my...
Put your other hat on.
Yeah, real estate. Okay. Just a short story. Few weeks ago, I got this client who actually like, hey JR, I found some property somewhere in Cebu, and he said, okay, we like the place, and I've been talking with the agent, and the agent actually like tell me that everything is okay. The owner is not here in the Philippines. He is in the UK. So I made some thoughts, and they actually like, hey, can you help me? Of course I can help you, because one thing that I actually observe right now is there are actually like people who buy properties and being persuaded without checking the paperwork, and that's too risky. And this couple asked me, and we have come to an agreement and actually asked them, and eventually what did happen is the agent does not have a power of attorney. That's number one. Power of attorney is very important, because that is where the provisions, that is where we know the provisions of what extent can he or he does not in behalf of the owner. Now, additionally, there are informal settlers in the property, which is another concern. And also, they have been like demands of this agent, like, hey, I need this, that's okay, that's okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, but we're just actually looking after you. So what we did is we found out that when we talked to the owner from the UK, he said like, hey, I've not been, the agent is asking money from me, and the agent is asking money to the buyer rush before they actually like go back to Thailand, because they're traveling to Thailand. So it's just that sad story that is still happening in the Philippines. So but Rod and I, if you notice, Rod have been working closely with us because in terms of the videos, because we wanted to spread awareness on this aspect. And it's not easy to lose your hard-earned money that you work for 20, 30 years. Please don't lose that. And it is something that you need to be aware of. Spending a little bit is way better than losing your millions or risking everything of what you saved for.
Yeah, we've all heard so many stories about titling, and you know, you think you have they might have a tax document, right? Well, that's not the title, and that tax document might even just be fake. So, yeah, you've actually gone. I know you've gone to different islands as a consultant, as the buyer's consultant, and you've gone through to the government agencies, and you've checked all the paperwork to see where it leads you. And are there kids involved, other family members involved that have
portion is being sold, and you need to find the registered owner that is reflecting on the title is already dead. The next generation among the siblings, a number of that has passed away as well. So it will actually complicate as it goes down, and it needs to actually follow regulatory process. Like before it will be passed on from the first registered owner on the title, next to the next living kin or surviving heirs, the legal surviving heirs, it needs to have a clearance from the government, which is the estate tax clearance. And sometimes these are commonly present right now in the provincial areas in the Philippines. Like, okay, hey, I buy a portion. Okay, hey, if you buy a portion, then good. But were you able to determine the existence of or the whereabouts of the title? Where is it right now? Who is the siblings that is holding it? Are the siblings in good condition, in talking terms? That's one. Because once they don't agree, you are in the middle. And you are the guinea pig. Honestly, I'm so sorry to tell that, but it's happening. I mean, I have made some consultations. I have some engagements when I told them, okay, hey, I'm so sorry. There's a lot of red flags and too much risk for you. And they walk away with a sale, with the offer, because it's too much for them. We will lay down all the facts to you. We'll say it straight, because we will be looking after you. Even if some other parties from the seller were like, hey, sir, we're happy to give you a part of the commission. No, we don't need that. We are looking after with the side that we're in, which is you. Then if you actually wanted that to be done, then we will help you to the best that we can. Of course, we're not the only person that we can help you, but we are telling you based on our experience with expats married to Filipina, or expats wanting to buy properties and then creating some lease contract with the fiancé and so on and so forth. Those are common here. But hey, always protect your interest, because that is where your hard-earned money is at stake.
Yeah. And you're a real estate broker of over 10 years.
Yeah.
You specialized in documentation, which most people stay away from that.
Yeah.
They don't. Documentation. Let the lawyers do that. And you've got a lawyer on your staff as well.
Yeah. In terms of legalities, you can always check that. And yeah, you have mentioned that I just came from another place in Visayas because of a client of ours wanting to buy a property there, and what we figure out is, property is good, it has a good location, but the paperwork, we need to do something out of it. So like siblings, a portion is sold, you're talking to one sibling, but you need to also to deal with the other siblings,
Well,
especially if it's not being broken down into parcels yet, or smaller parcels that will actually have specific or identified titles on that small parcel or the portion.
yeah. Yeah, I've been approached a number of times by traveling around different places, and just people come up, oh, you know, me and my girlfriend traveling to Bohol. Oh, I know where, very, very cheap land, only 100 pesos per square meter. And, you know, and I've had another guy on, I think it was Bohol as well, different place, and, or Moal Boal.
Yeah, Malbuan. You have said it well.
And he said, oh, a British guy, he built this house, an American built this house. Are you interested in property? And I said, well, let me go get my girlfriend. She knows a little more about real estate. And so he took us to 3 different properties. He said, oh, really cheap prices. And the locations, a couple of locations were okay. A couple weren't, looked like they'd be flooded or something to me. And but he was supposed to send all the information. And it was, again, because of health reasons, they were going to sell this. Had to be a rush sale. And never sent any information. So, yeah, I think it was a fake deal. I think it was a fake deal the whole time.
That is relatively true. Here in the Philippines, once you go outside the urban area or the city perimeter, like 2 hours drive or 50 kilometers away, you can actually find really like cheap lots. Like literally, you can even find like 100. That's $2 at least per square meter.
Yeah.
Per square meter is roughly 10 square foot. So that's kind of enticing. Like if you can buy also $20 approximately per square meter or 10 square foot, that is still appetizing. That's still cheap. But you know what? Your acquisition cost of the land or the price that has been offered to you might go up, might skyrocketed if you don't know what's really the story and what will be the transfer cost of the property. Like I have came across with an initial evaluation of a property wherein the property offer is like this 100 per square meter, and we turn out and check the possible cost. It cost them another 100, and so that is something that you need to know. That I mean, if you will hear this line like, "Hey, sir, there's no problem. If it's too good to be true, then I think it's up for you to think. Don't run, just walk away."
Yeah.
Or if you really love the property, okay, hey, can someone like really check what's going on? Because we're gonna say it straight to you. These are the red flags. These are the things that what we find. And it's not all transaction that you're gonna walk away. Sometimes we just need to find the right deal for you, that all paperwork are in order, and everything will be done.
You know, I always get, when I do these videos about real estate, I always get comments, never buy anything in the Philippines or any other foreign country. The rules are different. You know, there's only problems. And the fact of the matter is, you know, as good as that advice sounds, and it may be for many people, tens of thousands of people are going to buy in the Philippines, and thousands of people are going to build. They're gonna with their girlfriend, their wife, they're gonna get property. They're gonna build, and I see it in the comments on groups and Facebook and that type of thing all the time.
Yeah.
You know, we built this, we did this, you know, and there are a lot of really good outcomes.
Yeah, there are.
They're not problems, but you don't want to be the one. the bad story on the internet. Your story is the one bad one on the internet that comes up.
True.
You want to be the good one. You know? For
this year, census-wise, it's around 30%. Ratio is 30% good over 100. So meaning, if you can see the risk involved, like 70% of the transaction that we have handled this year, 30% went well. I mean, the paperwork is clear, the cooperation of the seller is clear, the owner, we have verified, everything is good, smooth sailing, running, 30%. So if you're gonna take a look at 20 transactions or 10 transactions, just imagine, let's put it 10. 30%. So 3 good ones and 7 bad ones.
Yeah.
or I'm not saying bad ones, but probably complicated ones. So see the ratio. That's actually, that's the, I'll not be saying how many is that, but that's where the census is telling us based on personal experience since this year. So you need to be really very careful about it. Like I've seen people who already like paid reservation for these developments outside the city proper. They're actually like subdividing lots. Be careful. You need to ask for the proper licenses, like license to sell. That's a basic one. If you're a developer, you should be complying with that, because why? That will actually protect the buyer. And it's under DHSUD, Department of Human Settlement and Urban Development, primarily HLURB. So that is where the initial checking, if there will be complaint, initial like validation, that is well before they actually like they would like to mediate it. The mediating ground, that's the office that is mediating between the seller and the buyer. But if that particular seller, or aka developer or real estate company, does not comply with the DHSUD, then you don't have a mediating office. And sad to note, you will be perceived with the pictures. And I always advise our clients, before you buy, make sure you go. Or if you don't, send someone you trust that is not in any way connected to anyone, either buyer or the seller or any relatives, because that will actually maintain the neutrality. And if there will be someone looking after you, there will be only few people that will look after you. Like they will not hesitate to say, "Hey, you don't have the right of way. For God's sake, consider this."
Right.
And we will not hesitate to tell you that, honestly. We just don't want you to lose the money. That's it. And if you pursue, that's on you.
Yeah. My girlfriend, she introduced years ago. She was, before I knew her, she was a little bit involved in real estate, and she introduced, I think, one of her friends, coworkers or something, to a project up in Laloan, north of Cebu City. And the girl put her money down, put her down payment down, made payments monthly for, I don't know, 3 years, something like that, built up equity, and she wanted to go move into her property, and nothing is built there. Nothing is built there. And, the contractor, you can't find him. The office is empty, the phone numbers don't work, emails don't work, nothing works, nobody knows where he's at.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, but I'm sure there are thousands of stories like that.
So yeah, there's a lot of factors really that you need to take a look at when you actually acquire property here in the Philippines. And I totally admire those foreigners or you folks wanting to buy and settle down here, and especially if you're buying it for your Filipino spouse. I totally admire you, because that is where somewhere you can also impart to your other half that you love her, especially for those deserving ones. And just be careful. Yeah, that's the advice. I mean, if you're gonna say a context of being a seller or an agent, your motivation is to sell, because that is where you earn your money. So expect that they will be like pushing you really to put your money down, like, hey, I just need a half, then everything is okay and we can actually deal with the paperwork. No. If you're buying in up front, check, do the due diligence first, do the actual site visit, verification of the owner. It's always good to verify the existence of the owner. And plus the fact that there are a lot of counterfeits, even titles can be done in counterfeits. That's the sad reality. But you know what? You don't need to be in that situation. That's the reason why we're making this video with Rod, and along with the update with the retirement visa, and also sharing this story to you, because we want you to have a peaceful living here in the Philippines. And how can you be peaceful if you're facing a court case? You're filing a case against someone, you're claiming, you're doing a hearing. Do you think that you're actually having a peaceful life? I don't think so.
Yeah, and what I've heard too, so I know people who they're trying to chase down contractors who were, they paid them to do work, and after a number of days, all the the workers are there, but no material no material shows up.
I think I know that.
Yeah. And I know a couple of cases like that.
Yeah.
And you need to. But in fact, that's another point probably. When you're going to have somebody do a construction for you, you should pay according to how much is finished.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Progressive billing. That's what we call it here.
Yeah, not the guy calls you and says, "I need more money because I need to go to get this."
I also have that experience, so that's why I can really understand you where you're coming at.
All right.
So
Very good.
we hope that we were able to give you a very important insight for today, for the SRRV, and also part of your plan to acquire properties. If you have acquired properties, then let's take a look at if it's still doable. If it's not, I guess it would be a learning experience. A very expensive one. It's either let's do an assessment, what will be your possible options, and then you can actually take it from there.
Yeah, because you work as the buyer's agent,
Mhm.
essentially, and take care of that, which is almost very, very rare. Everybody is the seller's agent here, pretty much. So, all right, very good.
So we did that to let you have a peaceful living in the Philippines. That is our advocacy. That's why when you mentioned, I've seen some comments also with Rod's video when he actually put it up in YouTube. There are a lot of comments, but you know what, guys? Our intention is you to be properly informed. That is the main thing. And I hope you're gonna pass this on to your friends who might be needing this. And also, please support Rod and his channel. Subscribe if you're still not subscribed to the channel, please.
Yeah, all right, very good. Thank you, JR.
Thank you, Rod. And guys, we'll be seeing you. And if you have something that you need from us, we can actually do a consultation. So for real estate right now, I'm personally handling it, and I'm actually just limiting it to few people every month or few engagements every month, because I need to make sure that we are actually providing you to the best service possible that you should have. So we'll be seeing you next time, and thank you, Rod, for inviting
All right,
me.
very good, thanks.